great idea. You got the EPA taken care of, but we had those rains in 2006 and 2009. Would not now be a good time to plan for those rather than say, well, it'll take an average rain and we're stuck if we get another heavy one?
Mike, here's our issue. You know, I went through those roads when those heavy rains hit. I also drove through Oak Park. I also drove through Waverly Road. I also drove through Gulfview. I'm telling you, when rainstorms hit like that, expect problems. Every city in the United States, when a torrential rain hits like we had, you're gonna have problems. Louisville, I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. Take a drive through the rest of the subdivisions in the city of Jeff. Do we do everything here in this area to meet a 1,000-year storm and tell every other place in Jeffersonville, every other neighborhood, well, we're only gonna meet the 50-year storm or the 100-year storm for you? How is that fair? You know, down there at Duffy's Landing, once ever so often, every few years, Utica Pike floods over. Cars can't travel on Utica Pike. You know, it's an inconvenience, but it's something of being around Jeffersonville, we've kind of grown accustomed to. Hey, every once in a while in a big rainstorm, you get diverted, you gotta do something else. You know, most of the homes that are down in this area, they've been bought and they're gone. But I'm telling you, after that last heavy rain, I went to 8th and Ohio and saw, you know, a little water in the intersection, and then I drove to Oak Park and the streets were covered. So, you know, drive around town and take a look at the other issues. Take a look at the rest of the subdivisions, Mike. There's more problems in this area right here. This area has gotten a lot of focus and attention, and we're doing what the EPA is telling us to do, and we're trying to relieve the flooding problems. I don't have all of the answers, but I also don't have an unlimited amount of money to fix the problems. And I think we're addressing and taking care of everything the EPA expects us to do, and we're handling the flooding issue that's gonna add a whole lot of relief for the downtown area. Is it gonna be, you know, no standing water? No. I mean, is that really what you expected? Yeah, Bart?
I mean, this seems like the minimum of what we could do.
No, not true.
Well-
the EPA does not allow minimal. You meet the EPA demands. They
Well,
come in
that's
and they
all we're
say,
doing
you
now.
gotta do this. Trust me, there's nothing minimal about what the EPA does.
I understand that, but we're also, that's what we're doing. The canal planned for a much larger capacity. And, I mean, we have two of the engineers that worked on it here, and they still work for the city as well as Jorge. So I think that one of the things that I'm confused about is why are we concentrating on immediate fixes as opposed to something that will address those larger storms, that's not gonna affect, I mean, the
think you're wrong.
capacity, well, at least
You've
two
got
very
two
knowledgeable
very
people
reputable,
on the payroll.
you've got two very reputable engineering firms putting their name on the line for this. You know, they didn't do this because Mike Moore said, hey, I want this done. They,
Mayor, can I address that?
please,
Yeah, please.
please.
Well, I think that what everybody needs to understand that the EPA consent decree, what we call the Phase 3 projects, consisted of two major projects. The one project that was put on the front burner before, which was the canal, that project had some limited, I mean, it's a great project. I believe in the project. The mayor and I disagree on that. I mean, I think the canal's a good project. Is it expensive? It's expensive as hell. And, you know, why have the sewer ratepayers pay for the canal project when it's got minimal impact on the CSO out of the 10th Street pump station, which we call CSO 018. That's one CSO that goes out to Cane Run. It's been there for before my time. I'm not going to tell what that time is, but I mean, it's 60 years at least. Now, the second project that was in that Phase 3, which was the $30.8 million, takes care of all the 6 CSOs that are left on the river. So you're going to take $30.8 million and eliminate the CSO issue, which is the basis of why the EPA is gonna come down and fine us. And when the EPA starts fining us and penalizing us, it's just not in the sewer department, they'll start
I know.
garnishing, you know, other grants that we may get for roads and streets, I don't know, you name it. So, when we looked at this thing, and, you know, the mayor said, look, I need to find a solution, I wanna get a bigger bang for the buck. And we looked at the project, and again, I still believe the canal project's a good project. Should it be paid out of sewer rates and higher taxes? I don't believe so. I think that there's gotta be a better way to do that project.